Hi everyone. A band just started, so hopefully that is not too distracting. I just finished leading my master class, The Sovereign Shift, Reclaim Your Energy, Reclaim Your Throne for helpers. And so I'm winding down. Usually I like to take a walk after I do those master classes because it's not just teaching the content, but it's also I lead an inner journey, and I always find that I need to ground. But for various reasons, I can't go for a walk right now. So I'm in my patio. I've got my Frida cup, can you see? And I'm drinking some cacao actually, because that's very grounding. And I just wanted to do today's video, just a little addendum to the masterclass. So one of the things that I shared was a drawing my inner child made. Often my inner child draws for the masterclasses. And it was the drawing, I don't have it here, but by the way, if you're interested in getting the replay link, just send me an email. It's free. You will have it for 7 days, and you can get all the gifts from it. So in the drawing, it's just two planets, right? And it's like the two versions of planet Earth. And one version is where it's the planet, the Earth version that is led by the ego structure, right? It's with and everything that comes out of that: polarity, division, comparison, judgment, fatigue, buffering. What do I mean by buffering? Just that, just not being able to be with your emotions or the emotions or the energy in the world. And so then what do? We buffer. We overeat, or we overconsume TV, social media, whatever, the things we do to kind of keep ourselves asleep. There's also like oppression and violence and war and all of the things. So that's that version of planet Earth. And then I drew another circle, again, my inner child. These are very simple drawings. And that one is the world led by our soul. And what is that version of planet Earth? That is the version that is compassionate, that is authentic, that has the quality of unity, interdependence instead of codependence of the other version. There's generosity, love, peace. I mean, I went on and on and on. So there's those two versions that really coexist, right? That based on our thoughts and our frequencies, we choose. And when you're a helper, this was the point of this drawing. When you go into that martyr helper identity, which is, includes anytime we self-abandon, like we overextend, we self-sacrifice, or we minimize our expertise, or we go into lack and scarcity. There's all of these specifics about that martyr helper identity. When we help the world, when we try to help and share our gifts from that place, we are literally anchoring in that version of planet Earth, the one that's led by the ego. Like we're just, even if we're doing good things, we're not really transforming the planet. The only way to transform it into the sovereign planet that we want, right? Because as helpers, we didn't come to save, we came to liberate. And how do we liberate? First, by liberating ourselves. So the only way to truly bring in that transformation is to help from that sovereign helper self, to help from that, what I call your throne of truth, that throne within your heart where your inner master resides, and be led from that place. And so I talked like this is a process, of course, right? So that's what the sovereign shift is noticing when you're in martyr mode. And there's all different ways that this shows up. And I went over that in the masterclass, right? This isn't about judging ourselves. It's about normalizing it. Know that it's understandable why we're literally programmed, especially as helpers, to believe that being a good helper looks one way. But that's not true. That's a way to control us and to actually minimize our impact, especially as women, and especially as sensitive women. And so the way to actually help and actually have the most impact is to do that courageous work and it's like moment by moment. We often think like it's going to be these big sweeping gestures, but more than anything is these micro choices throughout the day, right? So I remember back when I left my job as a middle school teacher, we're talking 15 years ago, and I started teaching classes or leading retreats and all of that. And I remember after I would be done with a retreat or a class, back then it was a lot more in person. I remember often I would go into so much self-judgment. Like, oh, I should have given this example. Oh, I went over on this. Oh, I didn't do that. And it was just like I was beating myself up. And it got to the point where I would get anxiety about that after time, because that would happen. And now, of course, with my coach, with my inner processes and all of that, I help that part, that inner critic, to heal and to release that punishment. It was a strategy, a toxic one, because it felt that that's how it kept me safe. But that's also part of the martyr identity, right? Anytime that we don't even allow ourselves to see our expertise, to celebrate our growth, to see the value we're adding, that's also part of the martyr identity. And I've come such a long way. I mean, I still feel a sting of it. Like today, it was interesting. After the masterclass, I came downstairs and I started feeling a little twinge of like, oh, I don't even remember the exact criticism. It was a lot more subtle than in the past, but I could feel it. And right away I realized, oh, I'm in that martyr mode. Sorry, I didn't even realize my shirt was like this. I'm in that martyr mode identity. That's what's happening. And just knowing that I got brought back to compassion and then chose to come back to my throne, my heart, and really notice all the things that I was so proud of, that were so amazing about the class. And that I was just, because so much of it, especially when it gets to the inner journey, I'm just a channel of it, right? I don't plan the inner journeys ahead of time. And it was this beautiful journey where we went to this lodge. I guided them. This white buffalo showed up, followed the white buffalo, went to this is all the inner journey, went to this beautiful lodge, and the sacred grandmothers showed up. And they were the ones that were attuning us. I did an attunement through the energy body of that sovereign throne. So it was so amazing. So for me to afterwards instead go into belittling or berating myself over some little thing, I'm not going to beat myself up over that, but I'm going to notice, oh, that's the martyr mode, trying to keep me anchored into that other reality. But instead, I'm going to choose to go into that sovereignty self, into my throne of truth, because that's the place that will allow me to not only feel better, but integrate the teachings. Yes, refine as needed if I need to, but also continue to add value. And from that place, I was able to come and be like, you know what? I'm going to do a little video. And just so you know, this is like my house shirt, which probably has stains, is I was dressed differently and then I changed and I didn't pay it. I forgot when I was coming out to do the video that maybe I should change my top. So anyway, so I just, what I said in the masterclass, I really think it's essential that as helpers, we understand how non-negotiable, how it's our divine responsibility to lead and help and serve from that sovereign place. And it's a process. It's not about perfection. And what I talked about, one of the key qualities that's needed for us to do that is compassion, is having so much compassion for ourselves as we notice all the ways that we're caught in the grip of the martyr helper. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you want to know more, I highly recommend the masterclass. It was about like 90 minutes. I went a little over. And there's a PowerPoint, so you'll see the PowerPoint where I really, and it's not like packed with words. I really am very intentional so that it helps you anchor the teachings in your intellect, but then is really talking about the energetics and leading that inner journey, really integrates it on a whole different level. And if you know what, usually I do 7 days for the replay, but because next week I'm going out of town, my oldest daughter is getting married, you're going to have extra time with the replay. You have, I think, till the 28th of October or something like that. So do not hesitate. Just send me, I think you can message me on YouTube, or just, I'll put my email. I think my email's on there. Just send a quick email. You don't even have to say, just put sovereignty, just say replay sovereignty shift, and I'll know to send you the replay link. I mean, you can write more if you want, but I don't want you to feel like you've got to write some big thing. And you'll get to access that. I'm sending you so much love from beautiful Mexico, and thank you for all the love and light that you share with the world. Bye.